KHOU 11 News This Morning starts now.
They were here to kill people, and they were going to kill as many as they, and it's probably a miracle they didn't kill all of them.
An ambush leaves 2 people dead, 2 others hurt, and the shooter on the run. We'll tell you how this shooting happened.
Police say it was all a publicity stunt. Why did actor Jussie Smollett stage, as it's being alleged, his own hate crime attack?
Are your kids getting tricked into buying games on Facebook? We explain what advocates think is going down, and we're getting your take. Good morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us, not just on a Friday, but it is Go Texan Day.
Yes.
I'm Brady Smith, and for us,
I'm Lisa Hernandez. Today is Friday, February 22nd. Let's check in with our cheetah craft, who is in her boots today.
Hey, it doesn't take a whole lot. Any type of day, I'm always game for the boots. And we're talking, though, a messy Go Texan Day. So if you're up early and already preparing, do you have kiddos in the classroom today? If you are on carpool duty today, you are going to be dealing with rain early this morning and this afternoon. So we're in the 50s. The big change from yesterday, though, we're warming things up. So even your lunchtime temperature should be in the mid 60s. Highs this afternoon push 70 degrees. But look, under overcast skies, visibilities may even be impacted because of this rain. Check out your satellite and radar picture. We're talking widespread scattered shower activity. Even if we get a little bit of a break here for our mid and latter part of our mornings, I'm expecting this all to return as we head into our midday and afternoon. So Steph, messy out there, messy on the roadways early this morning, and I'm expecting to repeat that later this afternoon.
Yeah, Cheetah, good morning to you. I can't say Friday light right now. We've got a lot going on in Montgomery County, so listen to this. Let's take a look at our Houston TransStar camera. This accident that you're seeing here in the far left lane and in the center lane is southbound, and that's right by 242. But just a little bit ago, we had an accident in the exact same location going northbound. This is unconfirmed, but we're getting some scanner traffic that a car may have hit the back of an ambulance truck that was responding to a crash before that. So 3 different incidents going on, and that southbound one's still very active at this time. So here's what the big picture looked like. So I can say overall it's still on the light side, but we do have a new problem on the Beltway, and this is going to be that westbound trip on your North Beltway at North Houston Road. So as you approach 249, be careful. There's a slight delay there. Lisa.
Okay, Steph, thank you. Right now, a man is on the run after he ambushed a group of people with a semi-automatic rifle. He opened fire from a rooftop, shooting 4 people. 2 of them were killed. We're told it involved 2 groups trying to settle a score from a previous fight earlier in the week. This all happened just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon on Eastbrook Drive in East Houston. Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo was out there last night after the shooting. He was outraged by the nature of the shooting. He said it is a miracle the shooter didn't kill everyone there.
And I promise you, we're going to find these cowards, that coward that got on that roof and hunting these people, these young people, as if they were, again, deer, and we're going to do something about it.
This whole thing shook up neighbors, understandably. It happened right in the middle of the evening, just a block from a city park. Homicide investigators are interviewing witnesses. They say there is surveillance video of the scene showing a vehicle leaving after the shooting. We have our Janelle Fort working this story. She'll be live for us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour.
The veteran Houston police officer being questioned about his role in a deadly drug raid is back home this morning. Gerald Goins was shot during the raid and has since been relieved of duty. The FBI is looking into whether Goins lied to get a warrant for the raid, something Chief Acevedo says Goins did. A couple who lived in the home died in a shootout with police, and a civilian review board is also looking into this case. A teen is in the hospital this morning, shot by a Houston police officer. Investigators say that teen was in one of 2 cars chasing each other down Beechnut. And when police caught up with them, they say the teen had a weapon and didn't drop it when told to. That's when officers shot him. He is expected to survive. A pretty scary discovery at Atascocita Middle School.
A student was caught bringing a saw blade and a hit list to campus. We're told that saw blade was 8 inches long. The hit list had 14 names on it of fellow classmates. A letter was sent home to alert parents of whose names were on that list. A tip helped Humboldt ISD police identify the threat, and that student was taken into custody.
It scares me to death. I think this is ridiculous at how these kids are doing this now.
I do take it seriously because you can never know if it's your last day.
That student is now facing charges of possession of a prohibited weapon and will not be returning to that school. Chicago police say it was all for more money and sympathy. Actor Jussie Smollett walked out of jail after he was charged with filing a false police report. Police say Smollett plotted a fake hate attack on himself. He allegedly paid 2 brothers $3,500 to help stage that attack. Police believe he was unhappy with his salary on the show Empire and was looking for attention.
How could someone look at the hatred and suffering associated with that symbol and see an opportunity to manipulate that symbol to further his own public profile?
If convicted, Smollett could face up to 3 years in prison. North Carolina has ordered a new election for the undecided U.S. House race after hearing evidence it was tainted by ballot fraud. Last night, GOP candidate Mark Harris dropped his bid to be declared the winner and instead called for a new election. He alleges the man hired to get his vote out illegally collected absentee ballots and forged voter signatures. The board approved the new election but has not set a date.
It is 4:35 now, and Houston is just days away from finding out if it beat out Milwaukee and Miami Beach to host the 2020 Democratic National Convention. The chairman of Houston First says his team's busy trying to secure that bid. We're talking a 700-page binder laying out logistics for what would be a huge event. Houston First chairman and mayor went to D.C. to present their pitch and answered 2 hours of questions from DNC leaders. There have been even more questions since.
From what I'd call the mundane of, where are we going to get coffee and snacks, to how are we going to protect some of the world's most important citizens.
Private fundraising is also part of the bid, and Houston First says it's following DNC guidelines there. A decision on the host city is expected next week. All right, this photo we're about to show you, it looks downright scary. Someone posted it on social media claiming it's a pillar for the San Jacinto River Bridge near Baytown. It's where a barge hit a pillar earlier this month. But is this real? Well, our reporter Matt Doherty hopped on a boat with Joe Parrish of the Baytown Boat Club to check it out. This is something Parrish knew all about.
I've seen it before, and I saw the one that y'all showed me, but I know exactly where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that look accurate? Like that's how it looks?
Yeah, it looks similar.
So we can verify that photo you've seen on social media is legitimate. TxDOT says it made temporary emergency repairs and the bridge is safe. The next step is securing an emergency contractor to permanently fix the bridge.
Fort Bend ISD is ending its legal fight over the land where the remains of 95 former slaves and prisoners were found on their property. The Board of Trustees president says the district will not build on the cemetery that was discovered last April, and they're dropping their court battle connected to it. They are hoping to work with the county to properly memorialize those remains and the burial site. The former CEO of Enron has been released from federal custody. Jeff Skilling, now 65 years old, was released after spending 12 years in prison for his role in one of the most high-profile corporate and financial fraud cases in American history. Skilling had been staying at a halfway house for the last few months of his sentence. It's not known where Skilling is today.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Israel is headed to the moon. Last night, an unmanned SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from Florida's Cape Canaveral carrying an unmanned lunar lander. If the mission is successful, Israel will become only the 4th country to land on the surface of the moon.
James Harden on the drive.
James Harden putting up 30 points against the Lakers, but it was not enough.
Yeah, LeBron and company beat the Rockets last night 111 to 106. That win, the result of a big Lakers comeback. The Rockets led most of the game, but Harden and Chris Paul both fouled out. Next up, Steph Curry and the Warriors tomorrow night on the road. Tip-off is at 7:30. Coming up on 4:39, we're talking accusations that Facebook is taking advantage of kids.
A privacy rights group says the social network is turning a blind eye to apps that lets children run up charges without their parents knowing. The group now wants the Federal Trade Commission to investigate whether Facebook violated consumer privacy laws. In 2016, a class action lawsuit was filed against Facebook. They alleged children purchased games like Angry Birds and made it difficult for parents to get refunds for those charges. At the time, that lawsuit was settled for an undisclosed amount. We want your take this morning. What age should kids be allowed to have social media accounts? You can weigh in now with our mobile app or at KHOU.com. Just see the slider or move the slider you see on screen. It goes from 8 years old all the way up to 17.
All right. And good old-fashioned fun. Get them away from the screen. You can go to the rodeo this week. Well, next week. You can go to Cook-Off tonight, Cheetah. How's the radar looking for that?
Yes, you know what? There's a lot to do here. And you know what? We're looking good. So we're going to continue to see these rain chances in place throughout the day today. On our satellite and radar picture, yeah, most of the rain working northward. So this is all moving out of the Gulf this morning. But it's going to be on and off activity. So we're talking about a dreary Friday, overcast skies, and really the chance for a few showers throughout the day today. We'll get another big push of rain overnight tonight into early Saturday morning. So I'm going to show you that here coming up. But take a look across portions north of Montgomery here along 59. This is a nice little cell, even producing some lightning. That's heavier rainfall indicated by the red, some of that deeper purple. Broader view, I'm going to show you on a national scale. We have some extreme weather going on right now in our country. You need to know about this, all right? The system across draped across the eastern seaboard, that's going to continue to slide offshore. Take a look at the low. Have you been hearing about some of the snow across portions of Southern California through Las Vegas in the desert Southwest? These are areas that hardly deal with rain at this time of the year, and we're talking about snow. This is affecting millions and millions of people. I typically don't talk about something that's West Coast that has nothing to do with us. This system is going to hold together, and it will start to impact us late this evening into early tomorrow morning. That's why we'll see some we'll re-energize with some of those thunderstorms. But this has been incredible. If you see some of these images out of Southern California and Phoenix, Las Vegas, snow in areas that could be about 80 or 90 degrees at this time of the year. Anyway, across the board, we are dealing with a big cold pocket of air to our north. I'm going to walk you through your 7-day forecast coming up in about 7 minutes, Steph.
All right, Cheetah, sounds good. We've got a lot going on right now, a whole cocktail of issues. We've got some stalls, an accident, and some construction to tell you about. So I want to start with taking a look at the East Freeway. So on that eastbound side, you are looking at a conk out. We're still waiting on help at Market Street. We always see problems here. It's off to the right shoulder, but just look out for that as the roads are very slick there in Jacinto City as you head towards the Beltway. We've known about this. We're on week 2 of this situation after that barge struck the underpass, and we just did a story on it here at the San Jacinto River. So here's an update that we just got from TxDOT. Expect 2 lanes to remain closed going westbound for the next 2 weeks, and then we might see even an additional lane closure as they start with those permanent repairs. This crash is still very active. It is on your southbound side of the North Freeway. As you come out of Conroe heading into the Woodlands, you're going to see that activity in the center lane, left lane, as you head into the Woodlands at 242. Brandy.
Thank you, Steph. It is 4:42 on this Friday morning, and Looney Tunes fans, listen up. Your favorite characters are returning to the big screen alongside LeBron James. Find out when you can catch Space Jam 2.
Just days until the start of the rodeo. This morning we break down numbers from how much food we eat to how many fans are attending the concert.